No live organism can continue for long to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. Even larks and katydids are supposed by some to dream. Hill House, not sane, stood by itself against its hills, holding darkness within. It had stood so for 80 years and might stand for 80 more. Within, walls continued upright, bricks met neatly, floors were firm, and doors were sensibly shut. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone of Hill House, and whatever walked there, walked alone.
Hello everyone, Adrian here. So today I'm going to be doing a book review. One day, a couple years ago, I was dicking around on Netflix and I found this new series. It came up in my recommended, just in time for Halloween. It was perfect. It was meant to be. And it was called The Haunting of Hill House. It definitely struck an air of recognition for me. I remembered that as a title of a Gothic novel I had seen among many lists of recommended reading for Gothic literature. Initially, it did sound a bit boring, your typical haunted house story, and I doubted at first that because it was written within the last 100 years that it would be dreadfully modern stylistically and wouldn't be to my liking, but I was wrong. I made the mistake of watching the series before reading the book, but I can come out of it saying that I honestly enjoy both for different reasons. But first, I'll discuss the original material. So, we're going to be discussing The Haunting of Hill House. It was written in 1959 by Shirley Jackson. So this follows the story of Dr. Montague, who is an anthropologist and doctor of philosophy, whose true passion lies in the investigation of the supernatural and psychical research. His entire life, he has been in search of a truly haunted house, and is overjoyed to see that he has found that in Hill House after researching the history and interviewing the former inhabitants of the ominous 80-year-old mansion. Determined to conduct an experiment on the hauntings and publish his findings in order to establish legitimacy of the paranormal in the world of academia, he gathers 3 subjects after a scrupulous screening process. He invites Eleanor Vance, a tormented young woman with a history of poltergeist phenomenon, Theodora, a woman who has a proclivity for psychic ability, and Luke Sanderson, a rich young man whose family owns Hill House. Upon arriving, each of them get an overwhelming sense of malice from the atmosphere. Little do they know what awaits them. The house has a history of strange deaths, suicide, and a bitter conflict between 2 sisters. One thing that I really appreciated was the doctor trying to point out that there might be a logical explanation for some of the paranormal activity that they may experience, such as the sudden slamming of doors in the house. The rooms in the house being at odd angles, as well as doors being set so that their own weight makes them shut on their own, and even the floors are not completely even, so it's easy to become disoriented and even dizzy in the house. It's nice that he was trying to find alternate explanations other than, oh hey, this place is haunted, so that more significant phenomena can be documented. As the subjects become acquainted, Eleanor realizes how discerning Theodora is. Theodora sees Eleanor's social awkwardness, and Luke is apathetic yet flirts with both of them. The second night in the house, all inhabitants are kept awake by ghastly episodes. They spend their days exploring the house, eating and drinking together, and their nights are filled with dread and creeping terror. Dr. Montague's wife arrives to assist with the paranormal investigation with her companion Arthur, but really does very little to help with the truly grim happenings that have been occurring. A great shadow lurks over Hill House. Who will be its next victim? You'll see. Just read the book. Read it. Read it. Read it. Read it. The book really has a lot of layers to unpack, and so much happens that you really don't realize that it's less than 200 pages long. Pretty sweet. After reading the book, I realized just how different the series was from the original material. Yes, they borrowed characters from the story, but in the words of Dark Shadows, the names and relationships have changed, in the sense that the series tied them together to be siblings and added a couple of other characters to complete the family, and Dr. Montague has very little presence in the series. So I guess it's safe to say that it's more inspired by than based on The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. You see a lot of lines and references from the book being made in a different context in the series, and it's kind of cool to see that happening in front of you. The series was incredibly beautiful and definitely very well put together, despite its departures from the original material. The scares were very well done, and there are even ghostly Easter eggs scattered throughout within the setting of the house. But you don't see them unless you're actually actively looking, almost like seeing things out of the corner of your eye being replicated in the show. It's pretty cool. I definitely thought that was a really cool touch and really amazing attention to detail. And anyone who says that horror can't be beautiful apparently has not seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, Crimson Peak, or The Haunting of Hill House. Okay, warning, I'm about to give a very unpopular opinion here, but hear me out. Honestly, I feel like The Haunting of Hill House is what American Horror Story wishes it could be. I couldn't watch American Horror Story after season 4 because the premiere of season 5 was just so bad. Like, it was stupid, pointless, random, and trashy for the sake of being trashy that I just couldn't proceed. It was clear that they felt they had to resort to shock value and trash in order to keep their audience interested. Now, in regard to The Haunting of Hill House as the Netflix series, there is a season 2. It just came out earlier this month. It is called The Haunting of Bly Manor, and it is based on the novel Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Now, this time around, I did things differently. I made a conscious effort to read Turn of the Screw before watching The Haunting of Bly Manor. And I will be more than happy to make it its own separate video because, once again, I feel like it's a really good idea to discuss, Gothic literature and then discussing something that it's based on. Pretty cool. And I really like that the creators of The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor have made this effort to kind of gather a lot of the cast members from the first season and put them in new roles. It's kind of similar to what American Horror Story does. It's kind of similar to what they did in the original Dark Shadows series, where they would put the same actors in different parts. And I thought that was amazing. Really is a testament to their acting skills, in my opinion. So again, I will withhold my thoughts on Turn of the Screw and The Haunting of Bly Manor for another video, another time, I promise. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will go seek out The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. If you can, and if you're able to, try supporting your local bookstores and buy it at a local bookstore. There's a bookstore here on the island that Kenny and I love going to. It's called The Book Rack. Amazing place. I just love it. Really cozy. And lots of other things other than books there. It's pretty cool. So yeah, try to support your local bookstores if you are going to go out and buy this book. And I will be making another video today as of me filming this. It's autumn season and it's a really good time of year to put out your favorite recipes, and I've finally decided that I'm going to share my recipe for one of my favorite dishes with you guys because it's fun, you guys will enjoy it, and whether you're vegan or not, you are going to love it. No, I'm not vegan, I just like to expand my horizons when it comes to cooking and include more vegan stuff, and it's a fun challenge for me. Anyway, enough about that. I will be making that video today, and you'll be seeing it probably sometime in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell for notifications. And thank you to all of my patrons for your support. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You all are amazing. I love you, and I will see you guys later. Bye.